Hello, everyone. Welcome back from your Labor Day holiday weekend. This week here, this Friday, September 11th, is the 19th anniversary of the attacks on our country by terrorists. And it's something that we should never forget. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a few things regarding uh, the attacks, and also we're going to have a lesson for that because there's a lot of significance that 9/11 and the ramifications of that. It's very personal with me. At that on that day, I was a lieutenant with Danvers Police. I was in charge of patrol operations. I had just had my meeting with my sergeants and was waiting for the chief and the captain and the other executive officer to come in and do our second part of the meeting. At that particular time, we got a announcement over the intercom by our 911 dispatch center saying that we should turn on the TV. There's something really bad happening. We turned on the TV in the training room, and sure enough, we saw the tower burning, and the announcer saying that a plane had crashed into the towers. I was automatically thinking of the response for the FDNY, the fire department, the police department, and the death and destruction that was already there. Then a short time later, all of a sudden we see a second plane hit the towers. We're going, this isn't an accident. And so we really went into a different type of mode with the police department saying, are we under attack? Is the country under attack? And a part of that is significant because of the fact that most communities have to have what's called an LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Committee, and a plan. We had done extensive ones through accreditation and all that, so we knew immediately that if there's some sort of terrorist attacks, that we have to protect our citizens and also two identified potential terrorist targets in the town of Danvers. One of which was a gas distribution center, and the other one was an electric distribution center. So we automatically had to put two officers at each location, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until things were deemed to be safe and investigations were done. In the meantime, we also learned that the plane had crashed into the Pentagon, and another plane had crashed up in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So this was more than just that attack on New York. And then we realized that two of the planes that were involved in the attack had taken off from Logan Airport in Boston. As a result of that, it wasn't that long that the FBI had called because we had a forensic artist, Detective Carol Germano, and she was on loan. She then became on loan to the FBI for several weeks doing composite sketches of the terrorist suspects that boarded those planes. And so it started a whole new realm for us in policing for the fact that we were really into community policing and all that. And then we had to switch gears and get into some defensive things and looking for those things. We also had to deal with the fact that our government was springing into action, and a lot of things were going to change within the criminal justice system and in law enforcement system. Is that we were going to have to change a lot of ways that we do things, and working with those, and we also had to get into the situation where we're going to be able to get into the fact that it's never going to be the same. There was a situation where the government came and passed what's known as the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act was going to cover the fact that we're going to change some laws and make some new divisions. They established what's known as FISA, which is Federal Intelligence Surveillance Act, that provided for a secret court. It also provided for federal judges to be on that secret court. It provided for a fact where you could apply for a FISA warrant to either search someone, search their home, go into the home without notice and put in listening devices, take control of their phones, their computers, their emails, all those things there. The act allowed us to do that as a government, and just do it without warrants. It's been controversial in certain situations. It has been renewed, though. We still have those things in place. The Patriot Act also created the Department of Homeland Security. Under the Department of Homeland Security, a big umbrella is that the TSA, the Transportation Safety Administration, was created. We see them every time we go into the airport. At the time of 9/11, there was none of that. The Homeland Security also covers U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. It also covers Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, which we hear about a lot nowadays, even nowadays, particularly here in Massachusetts, where our courts challenge the fact that an ICE agent could come into our district and superior court and place a Massachusetts defendant under arrest and take him into federal custody. And in dealing with that, there was just a federal court decision saying that they can do it. In looking at those things, it also created the United States Secret Service. Went under Homeland Security, as well as FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and also the United States Coast Guard. So we have all those things in place with that, and also dealing with the fact that the country was hurting. And as we started to get back together, we started to look at the fact that we needed a memorial. And so we have memorials in both New York City, the September 11th Memorial Museum. We have down into Washington, D.C. We have at the Pentagon. The Pentagon was hit. The whole wing was destroyed. I had the distinct honor to go there several years after they put the thing back together, to be able to look at what happened there, to be able to go into where they rebuilt it the same way before the attack, to look at a wall covered with cards from children all over the world, saying how sad it was to have that happen, and to put condolences to all the people from the United States. There's also a memorial now in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. I also went down to New York City to the 9/11 memorial. Down in the 9/11 memorials, right on the site where the Twin Towers were. You can see those towers as they were a symbol of our economy and the power of the United States. When those planes hit at 8:46 a.m. on 9/11, 2001, the NYPD and FDNY responded to there. As a result of the collapse of the towers, there were 343 firefighters that were killed, 23 NYPD officers were killed. In all, 2,749 people were killed there. And today, even to today, some of the remains have never been found of those people. And also what's happening now, 19 years later, we have what's called secondary casualties. We've had a number of firefighters, police officers, rescue workers, construction workers, every type of responder that went to those scenes at the time ended up with lung injuries and cancer from the toxic chemicals there. There were hidden deaths from that, and we're starting to realize the severity of it. And all from the three different places, 2,973 confirmed deaths just from there. At the 9/11 Memorial, it's a very sacred ground. It's built on the footprints of the towers. If you go there, you can, even with the hustle bustle of New York City, you can hear a pin drop in there. People go there, and it's a very solemn place. There are waterfalls that go, and that's about the only sound that you hear. There is the calming of the water. People come looking for the names of the victims. They're all inscribed all around the waterfalls there. We can see how vast those areas are. One particular one was a Karen Ann Martin, who was a flight attendant on Flight 11. She happens to have lived just up the street from me. She was one of the first casualties. Karen was a flight attendant up in first class. When the hijackers stormed the cockpit, they had to attack her and get the keys to the pilot's cockpit to get in there, and she sacrificed her life. Her remains weren't found until several years later and identified by DNA, and she was finally laid to rest back here in town. A terrific loss from a wonderful woman here in town. That's Karen's name there on the markers. Another area that suffered was just down the street from the towers, Engine 54 Ladder 4 Battalion 9 from the FDNY. I went and visited them when I was down there. They have a special memorial there, plus they have the memorial park, the pride of Midtown. They have a firefighters memorial park that has the names of those firefighters from that firehouse. I have a special bond there. My son Jonathan is a firefighter paramedic up in Haverhill, so we all know the dangers of the jobs from police and fire in doing those things. But he's a great medic. He also teaches at the fire academy doing those things. But the one thing that we do is we never forget what happened in those particular situations. And so what we're going to do with this lesson is I'm going to have you do some research because I know that because it happened 19 years ago, the majority of you were either just born or just young people, and I just think it's worthwhile looking into that, but also on looking at our studies that we're doing here to see how it has affected both the law enforcement and our court system. So I hope you will get a good lesson from these videos that I'll posted along with this lesson. So take care, and as the saying goes, we never forget. We never forget what happened on that particular day. Thank you.